Hey guys! Welcome back to our channel,
Plots with a Twist.
where we discuss books.
Amongst other things. And we're like a year late, maybe a year and some change on this tag. Maybe two. But that's okay. That's okay, because at the time when it was circulating, we didn't have a whole bunch. Well, I didn't have a whole bunch of Black books under my belt, but now I do. So now we feel comfortable doing this tag, and that's the Black BookTuber tag. So boom, let's get into it.
I'll read the questions, I guess, since you sent it to me.
I have them too.
I
have my answers. All right, so yeah, pretty much like we said, this tag is pretty old at this point.
But it's Black History Month, so we decided, why not?
Why not?
Since we haven't done it.
Yep.
Okay, so the first question on the tag is, tell everyone about yourself. You go first.
Oh, I'm Kristen. Hey, new subbies. You know, hey, old subbies. Hey, y'all. How y'all doing? Well, we've had videos where we've kind of discussed ourselves, so I really don't know nothing new to say, so check out some of those. But I'm Kristen. I'm from Atlanta. I'm a mom. I'm a wife. I'm those things. I'm a reader. I'm a I don't know. What y'all want to know?
Tell me your favorite book genre. What you like to read?
I like to read suspense. I like to read. I don't mind fantasy. I don't mind contemporary lit. Like really, I'm a genre jumper. I really don't say no to most genres. I'm not gonna say all, but yeah, that's me. That's all I can think of. If y'all want to know something specific, y'all can ask and we'll address it in another video.
Okay, so as for me, my name is Asia. I'm originally from New York, but I've been in Atlanta for a very long time. I'm still a New Yorker, so don't try it. So I feel like, I don't know what to say about myself, but yeah, I love to read. I've been reading for a long time, and you know, went through a spurt where I wasn't reading a lot, and then I started back reading again. Like reading, and then that's when me and Chris, not when we met, but that's when we started our, you know, booktube journey. And I like to read suspense as well, and thrillers, and I like to read a lot of stuff with like female protagonists. Like I feel like I'm very into that, like just different journeys and stuff. Yeah, like that type of thing. So yeah, but also I will say that I'm a genre jumper. I'll read. If y'all say it's a really good book, I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna read it. But so yeah, that's me in a nutshell as far as book goes. Booktubing goes.
Oh, look at your little picture.
Okay, so next question on this tag is, recommend a Black author you love that many people don't know about. What'd you say?
So if y'all watched some of our past videos, you know, not that I'm new to Black literature, let me not put it in that way, but that I haven't read as much Black literature probably as I should have at my big age. And so the past few years has been more about reading more Black authors, and I have been reading more contemporary or newer Black authors. So most of the books that I've read are authors people know about, because that's part of the reason I read it. So I kind of flipped the question over to like someone who I read a debut about, I didn't see a lot about, and I would love to see more from them. So one, Lauren Wilkinson from American Spy. We did a review way back when, and it hasn't gotten the best reviews as far as the book. But it was, we kind of enjoyed it, and really, I guess most importantly, we enjoyed her writing. So I would love to see like what she kind of grows, how she grows and progresses. Same with Megan Giddings. I didn't too much care for Lakewood. It was okay, but I would like to see how her writing progresses, as well as I did enjoy this one, Peace at Zomidi for The Only Wife. I'd like to see how her writing progresses. So I haven't seen a lot of people review those particular authors, so that's why I mentioned them. Plus, like I said, I would like to see more from them. See how they get better.
Okay, so for me, yeah, I feel like I read a lot of Black authors that most people know about here on BookTube. But I will say, so for this question, I picked an author that I don't hear, like people know about her, I think, but I don't hear her mentioned a lot, just like on BookTube and just in general in the reading world nowadays. I feel like she was, well, I can't even say that. And that's J. California Cooper. You know who that is? Okay. So J. California Cooper, she read this book. I mean, she has a lot of books. She has a lot of books. I'm not sure exactly what her style is, but she's very much it says she's an American playwright. So, okay, go ahead, J. California. So she's my aunt's favorite, like, author. And I remember, like, growing up, and my aunt would always say, like, oh, you need to read this. J. California Cooper, you need to read this. You need to read this. And I remember the book, A Piece of Mind. That was the book, like, she always would push towards me. Y'all still have never read any of her books, but I have one that I bought from like a book sale just because I saw her name and I was like, ooh. But whenever I do hear people talk about her, like they just say like she writes a good story about the Black experiences, and yeah. So I think she is a popular Black author, but it's more like maybe she has her own, like, what do you call it, cult following that more people that know about her, they know about her, but she's not, has a big following.
And a little bit more old school.
Yeah, and I think so too. Yeah, she's a little more old school. So yeah, that's an author that I think more people should know about, and I need to get into her too. But okay. So third question is, what's your favorite book about the Black experience?
So I don't read nonfiction books.
But
often.
A fiction book could be Black experience.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. So I feel like more nonfiction books though dive into the actual like Black experience, and more so the fiction books are more so just the person, the main character going through their everyday experience.
And they're Black, so it's their experience.
Right. So that's what I have. But I think the one that kind of breaks it down in a way that is almost not fictional is one of my favorite books by a Black author, and that's Homegoing by Yaa Gyasi. Because it really does give you a fictionalized telling of the Black experience. I mean, it goes into two half sisters, and it's set way back, but it goes through their lineage. And so one stays in Africa, the other is exported. Is that what you call it? I don't want to say export. You export goods, right? But shipped off to America, and so their lineage kind of tells the difference between just how Black people have been treated. So it goes into the stories of their children and their children's children, and so on and so forth. So I think that's a great one to kind of go into the Black experience. And then from another kind of just giving a glimpse of, guess, a different perspective and experience was The Girl with the Loud Voice. That was a Black African experience, and I think that book shed a lot of light on some of the cultural things that, you know, maybe women over there might face. So yes. Okay, so you got two. So for me, I picked you can do one. I just said it because I wrote it.
I know. So I picked Assata by Assata Shakur, and it's actually an autobiography about Assata Shakur written by her. And she was the former Black Panther, Black activist who famously escaped to Cuba to avoid like being I guess persecuted here in the United States, because she was falsely accused of killing a New Jersey state trooper, I believe, back in the 60s or 70s. Okay. And so yeah, the story just goes through like her life, what she went like from a child, and her whole that whole situation. And ironically enough, she doesn't really talk about you know, her escaping. I guess she didn't want to give her secrets away and how she got, you know, to Cuba and stuff, but it just more so details her experiences leading up to that and what led her to join like the Black Panther Party. And, you know, if that ain't the Black experience in America, then what is, you know, especially at that time when, you know, civil rights was really coming to a head and all those things were happening. So yes, and I really enjoyed that. I remember reading that book, and I haven't read many autobiographies or biographies for that matter, but her storytelling was really good, and you really felt connected to what she was going through and just interested to see like where it went. It read like a fiction, but of course you knew it was a true story. So yeah. All right, next question. What are we on, number 4? Favorite book by a Black author?
Okay, so just to give something different and different from Asia, because I knew hers.
I was gonna say the same thing.
You know what, I was, because that was my favorite for the moment. But if I think of all the books I've read that's still a hard question to answer. But one that I did thoroughly enjoy, probably just as much as the one you'll mention, but in a different way, was The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, I thought it had a lot of elements, a lot of things that discuss race, just a lot of things that you can enjoy while still learning. So yeah, I would put that as a highly recommended book, and one of my favorites by a Black author.
Okay. All right. So for me, I picked, I had 2 books for this one.
Oh.
So I picked 7 Days in June by Tia Williams, which we talked about. You guys have seen us do a review on it. And if you haven't, it'll be linked below. You guys can check that out. But you know, all the rage, we loved that book. And it was just a good book, good romance novel. It had all the things. It was funny. And I felt like it was really accurate to Black culture now, like just, you know, just everything that's going on now, and as far as like the pop culture references and everything. And so yeah, that's my favorite book for the moment that I've read recently. And I'll say another one that I really enjoyed, and this was the first book that I read by this author, and I be trying to make Kristen read her all the time, and that's Sula by
I knew you was gonna say one of her books.
And so yeah, I really enjoyed that book because Sula was basically like a good versus evil type thing, like where the main character, I forget, Sula, and her friend, and her childhood friend, and Sula moves away after, you know, going through this experience, but comes back, and she's just like the sassy like friend who went off and experienced life, and comes back towards her friend who's staying in their hometown, and their interaction with each other. And I just really enjoyed it. It was a very short book, but very impactful, I think, for the short writing. Of course, it's Toni Morrison, so you know, it was good writing.
I'm gonna add that to my 7. It's gonna be my 8th book for it.
Okay. Yeah, you need to read it. Okay, so next question is question number 5, recommend a Black and queer book.
Okay, so I've talked about this book before. It's been included in a few of our like compilation lists. So I put You Should See Me in a Crown by Leah Johnson. So that one I've seen a good amount of feedback on, but not a lot. But just about a girl, really kind of like an underdog story. She's it's really a cliche story too. She's, you know, a senior in high school, loses her scholarship for her dream college, and pretty much her high school offers a scholarship for the winner of the prom queen, and she's not popular. She's focused on her academics, her whole high school career, and really kind of navigates that. But also in the midst of things, she kind of falls in love with a newer student. So, and they both are running for prom queen. So yeah, so it's kind of like, how does that, you know, disrupt their relationship? How does that, you know, shake things up? So it's a really interesting book, really enjoyable, really kind of different and fun take on just the kind of typical story you read in those situations. So
gotcha. Okay, so for me, I haven't read many Black queer books, I don't think. So the first one that comes to mind is a book that we mentioned here quite a bit on our channel, and that's All Boys Aren't Blue by George M. Johnson. Is that his name?
Yeah.
So yeah, and it basically is another like memoir style book where he details his experience growing up as a Black queer male, and I think he's from New Jersey. Was it New Jersey or something? Did I make
you asking all the wrong questions to the wrong person.
Oh yeah, and I enjoyed that book. I think we listened to it, and his storytelling was good, and there were moments in the book where he was just rooting for him, and also made you laugh and made you feel kind of sad. So when a book can make you feel all those emotions, then it's just a good one on my list. So if you haven't checked that out by now, I don't know what you're doing. Go ahead and read it, because it was a good read. So next question, number 6, recommend a book with a Black person on the cover.
So you talking real person or cartoon or drawing?
It doesn't matter, because a lot of books are illustrated anyway.
Okay, so I put just a book I really haven't discussed since I read it. And I think it's a book that people should read. And that's Grown by Tiffany D. Jackson.
That's a good one. That's a good cover too. She has good covers.
Yeah. So I compared it, when I did read it, I compared it to kind of like, sorry to say, but like, well, not sorry to say, but like R. Kelly, you know, that grooming process and what that looks like from the girl's perspective, the young girl's perspective, and ultimately just a realistic telling of how that situation can happen, where a young girl can be caught up in the midst, in the grasp of, you know, someone older, kind of for all purposes taking advantage of them and things like that. So that one was kind of a little triggering and a little challenging to read, even though it was told in a lighter way. But I would say, out of like most of the young adult books that do tackle tough situations, I would say hers is the most, Tiffany D. Jackson's is the most like stirring, like emotionally stirring, where it's kind of like upsetting. So you have a really kind of visceral reaction when you read her books, which is good and bad at the same time. They're kind of
trigger you, but it's still like good.
Yeah, it's good.
It makes you feel
right. So that's it. Y'all,
okay,
she got the book, y'all.
So mine is also another Tiffany D. Jackson book, and I actually have the book for you guys, and that's Monday's Not Coming. And you can see it's a cute black girl, beautiful black girl on the cover. I thought it was a drawing, but yeah. But oh yeah. And it's actually, I thought it was an illustration, but it looks like a picture of an actual girl with, you know, braids in her hair and her Converses on. Do you think this is Monday or the girl that's her friend? Who do you think it's supposed to be? Anyway, so Monday's Not Coming. Also another story. Basically, this girl who's looking for her best friend. It starts off. That's how the story starts off. Her best friend is missing, and she seems to be the only one that is concerned and looking for her. And yeah, that story goes more into like, I guess, like child neglect and low-key abuse. And yeah, so more triggering things, but also a very good read, very good story. Tiffany Jackson, I feel like I've said this before, but her books read to me like they would make good movies or good cinematic things, show, whatever. Like she just writes it where just you could see it happening. And yeah, Monday's Not Coming is a good book, and also emotional and triggering. So yeah, just keep that in mind if you guys want to check that out. So yeah. Okay, so next question. Recommend a book by a Black author that makes you happy.
So I put 7 Days in June by Tia Williams.
I would have picked that too, but I picked it already.
So that book made me happy. It checked all the boxes for me. Just a really good read. I've seen nothing but positive comments on it. I mean, if you see anything negative, it's really nitpicky. So yeah, that book brought me joy. It made me smile. It was everything. It was everything. So yeah, I picked that one.
Okay, so for me, I picked With the Fire on High by Elizabeth Acevedo.
You love that book.
I like that one, and Clap When You Land. And I like the Poet X too, but I feel like.
But you said Clap When You Land was your least favorite by her.
Yeah. I don't even know why I said that. I gotta go back. But With the Fire on High was definitely like one of my faves. And that book, if you guys remember, is about a young Latinx girl who has a baby and is trying to finish high school, and she's in high school, right? And she's trying to finish school and also pursue her culinary dreams. And I just felt like it was all the cooking and the recipes and the family element with her and her grandmother. It was just a very cute, fun story that also had its, moments of trials and just what am I trying to say? Like, I wouldn't say heavy moments, but definitely moments of like struggle with the characters struggling, just hurdles with different things.
And just overcoming.
And yeah, and I feel like the ending just made me happy without spoiling anything. Yeah, it was just a cute read, and I enjoyed that book. And it makes me happy, so be mad about it, Kristen.
I'm not mad. What are you talking about? I liked it too.
Recommend other Black booktubers. Who you got?
Okay, so we've already admitted we're pretty inconsistent in watching BookTube, but we will watch a few videos here and there. And actually, one person who I did watch their tag video on this, probably when it first came out, was Booked and Busy. I enjoy her video. She's really honest about, you know, reviews, and she's actually disagreed, not like directly, but like, so I've seen some of her reviews on some of the books we've read, and she's had different opinions. So I like to see other opinions on books. And then Q and TG, they, I guess like us, like two friends, you know, kind of recording together, and they do a lot of fantasy series based, and they have actually reached out to us in the past, and we've had, you know, some camaraderie with them. So yeah, those would be two I would recommend. And then you have two.
Okay, so for me, I got Bow Ties and Books. She is a channel that I feel like I started watching. I found her on Instagram first, and then on BookTube. And I feel like the first girl you mentioned, she has like sometimes like contradicting like views as far as like what we feel about books. But like Krista said, like I love that, I enjoy that just to see, because then it makes you think of stuff that you didn't necessarily think of when you read the book. So I like to hear her opinions. And then Nikia's Hideaway, she reads a lot of similar books that we read, and she engages with us on Instagram. So hey girl, hey. I love watching her videos and enjoy her commentary and reviews and things. So there's a bunch more that we can mention, but like you said, I haven't been watching BookTube as of recently, the new year, but I gotta get back into it. So yeah.
All right, what's the last, or is there two more?
It's too much.
Oh, okay.
So
we're still going.
Talk about books by Black authors that are coming out. Who you got?
So I only have one, and really I saw a list of few that, I mean, again, we've already admitted we don't really kind of look in advance and say, oh, what books are coming out. Maybe that's something we should start doing. Maybe if we start getting more advanced reading copies, you know, that will be something, of course, we will engage with more too. But as a whole, we kind of just look at new releases, so we get them at the same time as everybody else. And so one that, because I'm currently reading one of her books, I feel like, okay, I'm kind of liking it. Might as well. And that's You Made a Fool of Death. Hold on. You Made a Fool of Death with Your Booty. You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty by Akawaz. Y'all, let's see. Hopefully Imezi, if I can find the cover. But I'm currently reading Pets by her. I have Freshwater by her. So yeah, I'm enjoying Pets so far, so why not? So, and I think it'll be her first stab at romance. If I read
that
correctly.
book you mentioned. Okay. So for me, I put The Memory Librarian, and I think it says In Other Short Stories by Janelle Monáe. She has a book coming out, or yeah, a book of short stories coming out, and they're it says it's based off of, inspired by, what's that album, Computer something?
Ooh, and I'm a Janelle Monáe fan. What is it? My mind is blank.
Computer something.
It ain't Computer nothing.
Watch. Dirty Computer.
Okay, say. Okay.
So yeah. So yeah, that's a book that's anticipated. And I was like, okay, look at Janelle Monáe writing and stuff. So she writes her own music, so I'm pretty sure it'll be good.
Yeah, she's always been artistic and found different ways to express that. So I'm sure it'll be good as well. So
yes,
I'm looking forward to that too.
Okay, so tag a Black booktuber to participate. I feel like people have done this already, and we're just late.
Yeah, we're just late. So if you haven't done it, do it. If you already done it, yay. So so that's what we'll keep it at, because like we've already acknowledged we're late to the game on this one.
We're very late.
So yeah, but other than that, just let us know your thoughts on any of our questions, any of the books we mentioned here today. If you want to know, like we said earlier, if you want to know anything additional about us or any additional content from us, let us know. We take suggestions. Like this video, subscribe, ring that bell, and we'll be back next time.
Bye.
Bye.